Hey everyone, it's Michael GoosebumpsFan, and welcome back to some Goosebumps news. Of course, we have some more comic book news from IDW, who's had the comic book rights for Goosebumps for a while now. Of course, these are the old R.L. Stine books, and IDW, instead of just adapting those stories into, kind of the Goosebumps, what are those books called? Well, you know what I mean, like the comic book adaptations of the old stories. That's not what these are from IDW. They've been doing all these stories like Monsters at Midnight, for example, that have been absolutely awful. The last one wasn't that bad. It was actually like a witches type thing. I actually reviewed all three of the current IDW trade paperback hardcover books here on my channel in case you want to check out those reviews for that. It should be in the Goosebumps comics review or comic book reviews here on my channel in the section on that playlist. But this new story I have some intrigue about, but it's also IDW, so I kind of just really am in a little bit of a panic about this. I haven't heard anybody else talk about this anywhere on Facebook or otherwise. I just kind of saw it pop up somewhere on my Facebook, not my Facebook, on my Amazon when I was looking at Amazon yesterday and buying some stuff that I actually want to talk about on things like Goosebumps here on my channel, which is a segment that I do for anybody who doesn't know. Of course, these are some new Goosebumps comic books that are coming out this year. It's going to start coming out, what was it? Just a second. The first issue's coming out September 30th of 2020. And this story is going to be called Goosebumps Secrets of the Swamp. And there's going to be 5 issues, which is weird because usually there's only 3 for each of these storylines that IDW releases. And I usually kind of like the 3-issue story arc, maybe 4 at the maximum. 5 is a little weird to me. I'm a little surprised they're going that far. Maybe it won't last that long. I don't know. Sometimes it changes. Not with Goosebumps, with other comic book things that I'm exposed to, like Marvel and DC stuff. Been waiting like 2 years for the end of Doomsday Clock from DC, and it's not going to happen. I'm just convinced it's never going to come out. Too many things need to be wrapped up, and they've just lost sight of that for whatever reason. Giant mess. Giant mess, Doomsday Clock. But anyway, this particular story I'm interested in because of the idea of what it is. I'm worried about what it's going to be because of IDW always pushing, like every other comic book industry person right now and company, they're pushing politics into everything. So the last book that they did, which was the Witch book, I forgot what it was called, but they didn't do any politics there, to my knowledge. There was no politics at all in the book, and I was kind of surprised by that. No SJW nonsense, nothing like that. So I'll give them credit there. I do recommend checking out that last one. It wasn't a great book. It wasn't really even a good book. It was just fine. It was very decent, very okay. I'll take decent okay over SJW nonsense, personally. I don't know how you feel about that, but that's how I feel. So the last book wasn't that bad. I'm hoping that this one will be a lot better than a lot of the previous books. There are 2 people working on this one that I've never heard of before. The first girl that is writing, I'm assuming it's a girl, is Marique Nijkamp. I'm not sure. I'm really bad about names. The other person is Yasmin Montanez. She's the artist. Again, it could be good. The art on the picture is not great, but it is what it is. It's not excellent, but it's kind of okay, I guess. It looks, again, like we're going to have 3 girls for our main characters and not any boys at all. We had like 1 in all the IDW comic books because whatever. This could be good. Again, 5 issues long, supposedly at this current moment, starting in September. On September 30th, 2020 is the first issue's release date at this current time. Sometimes things get delayed. I can't promise you it'll be September 30th, but more than likely it will be, at least for this first issue. I don't know. It might be okay. It might be fine. They have a story synopsis, by the way, which we'll talk about that now, too. The story says, when 12-year-old Blake, is shipped away to stay with her weird aunt in Fever Swamp for the summer, which kind of sounds like Monster Blood a little bit. She expects her weeks to be filled with video games, mosquito bites, and a whole lot of nothing. Instead, she finds herself in a spooky turf war, which is a weird thing to have in Goosebumps, a turf war, between wolf hunters and werewolves. Yes, and by the way, Fever Swamp, of course, is focused on, The Werewolf of Fever Swamp. That was a book that everybody loves, and there's TV episodes, a 2-parter that everybody loves too. I haven't read that book or watched the TV episodes in forever, so I'll talk about them at some point. With monsters on both sides, it's up to Blake to use all of her gaming skills to escape alive in this all-ages scarefest from New York Times bestselling author, blah, 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 and artist, blah, 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 blah. Something I'm seeing right here already that concerns me with the artist is that she's worked on Captain Marvel. Oh, Lord. Captain Marvel. I don't even want to talk about that. But yeah, with this story, like I said, it's called Goosebumps Secrets of the Swamp. What do you guys think about it? Are you excited for it? Do you think it's going to be terrible? Do you think it'll be good? This whole idea of the werewolves versus wolf hunters could be a good idea. It could be. It could be. I don't think it's ever been done in Goosebumps to my knowledge. Maybe a little bit in the Fever Swamp book, Werewolf of Fever Swamp, the old book from the classic series. Maybe a little tiny bit, but not a whole lot. I've never heard of a turf war being in Goosebumps either, because it's a kid's book series, so... Oh God, I hope they don't talk about like some social justice nonsense. I don't even want to talk about it. Just please don't do it. Please don't do it, IDW. You've already ruined your reputation for me as a Goosebumps publisher in this sense. But do like you did with the last book. Don't put any politics in there. We all liked the last book okay and fine because there were no politics in it. You didn't push some stupid agenda. And it worked very well, in my opinion, for what it was. Anyway, what are your thoughts on Goosebumps Secret of the Swamp? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you excited for it? Do you think it's going to be crap? I mean, it kind of doesn't surprise me. Hopefully the art is a lot better than it has been. The art's been very cartoonish and very, like, Cartoon Network-y in the recent years. Not the good old Cartoon Network days like Codename Kids Next Door and whatnot, Ed, Ed, and Eddie and all that, the good art styles of the olden days of Cartoon Network. It's been like the newer garbage, you know? Like a Steven Universe kind of looking art that's very basic, very simple, very easy to draw for artists, not for me. But it worries me the sense that the art style is not very good in a lot of these IDW comic books. Whereas I think a lot of darker, more realistic artwork would work great. I would love even kind of abstract artwork I think would be very good, like kind of the Batman Arkham Asylum art, if you've seen that, if you've read that book a long time ago from Grant Morrison. That kind of haunting, nightmare-esque artwork would look great for Goosebumps, I think. But no one wants to try that out, for whatever reason. It's a shame, in my opinion. But anyway, what are your thoughts on Goosebumps Secret of the Swamp, or Secrets of the Swamp, whatever? Are you looking forward to it? I kind of am wish-washy on this. It might be really good. If it is good, I will give it a great, glowing review. I really will. But we'll see. We'll see. So anyway, guys, that's my little video for Goosebumps news for today. At least we got some comic book news. I wish it wasn't IDW. I wish it was somebody else like DC that I could trust a little bit more. Not a whole lot, but a little bit more. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys, and put your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And may the Lord Jesus Christ bless you guys today, and have a happy Sunday, and goodbye. I miss